Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show for you guys here. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So there's been this kind of back and forth that has been going on in the media, and as a result of that, between fans, which is, you know, who should be the next face of the NBA? Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? And a lot of this conversation is driven by ESPN. They're the ones that kind of push this narrative on a daily basis. And the one particular person that they keep naming to be the face of the NBA is SGA, right? I mean, excuse me, Anthony Edwards. Now, some of the reasons I've heard for people saying that Ant-Man should be the face of the NBA or is the next face of the NBA is, number one, because somehow, some way, he reminds them of Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. He's bravado, he's outspoken. To some people, they say he's charismatic, or his style of play, he plays with flair and athleticism, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people have been saying, just recently, even Kendrick Perkins said, if Anthony Edwards wins the championship, he's going to become the face of the NBA, whether he likes it or not. So there's been this conversation around it. I think it's also fair to point out that a lot of people are not fans of Anthony Edwards. A lot of people are not fans. We're not going to sit up here and lie. A lot of people, they don't like the fact that he talks so much without proving anything. A lot of people were not a fan of his MJ comments and Kobe comments. A lot of people are not a fan of some of the stuff he says. Like, some of the stuff he gets fined for is crazy. Like the stuff he said at the Lakers game. A lot of people are not cool with that. A lot of people don't find that to be endearing, right? They're like, bro, what are you doing, right? So remember, if you're going to be the face of the NBA, to a certain extent, you have to be a role model. To a certain extent, whether you like it or not, that's the reality. And when you're known for saying these kind of crazy things, you know, saying one thing or the other, is just not going to play over well with some people, especially people that have kids. That's the reality of the world, right? Some people love it, other people don't. My thing has always been, I get that Ant-Man is a great player, but I think there are players that are better than him. And I think the player that he's playing against right now in this series is better than him, and that person is SGA. As a matter of fact, we put up a poll on our channel just yesterday. Few thousand people voted, and the question was, who should the NBA make the face between these two players? Of the 3,000 voters, 65% said SGA, 35% said Ant-Man, which now brings me to the meat and potatoes of today's show. So yesterday, there was a game between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks that was being carried or covered by TNT. And I believe during halftime, or it might have been halftime at the end of the game, I'm just going to assume it's halftime, they were talking about things around the league. And Charles Barkley, who y'all know, he's outspoken. He's going to say what he thinks, and to hell whatever anybody else thinks. Charles Barkley decided to call out his next employer in ESPN for essentially always trying to push Anthony Edwards as the face of the NBA over SGA. And I'm like, bro, this is beautiful, because this is exactly what we're going to get when Charles Barkley joins ESPN. So what we want to do is going to play what Charles had to say. His comments are fairly short, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
Everybody talking chuck about Anthony Edwards and the answer that he gave to that question. Julius Randle had 5 points on 1 out of 7 shooting.
I told you going back, I was concerned about Julius Randle because the way Coach Finch treated him in Game 2, I was a little concerned where his confidence level was going to be. But it's not his fault because he was playing well. But this is a really, really good. Listen, I told you guys 3 weeks ago, this is the Oklahoma City Invitational. Whoever they come out the East, they're going to beat the hell out of them. Beat the hell out of them. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win the championship. And anybody want to bet me any amount of money, come to my damn house, because I can afford it. OKC is the best team in the NBA. I've been telling y'all that for 2 months. Hey, ESPN, I love you guys. Don't try to make Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA. The face of the NBA is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Joker, and Giannis. You can't give it to people. They have to take it. and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is taking it.
So you heard what Charles had to say. What are my thoughts about this? Look, folks, if I had to choose a young star to be the next face of the NBA, and I had to choose between these two guys, I'm going for SGA. The first reason I'm going for SGA is because I think he's a better player. And I think we're seeing that. Now, some people are saying, oh, you know, SGA has a greater team. Yeah, he's one of the reasons why. He's one of the reasons why. Like, he is one of the driving reasons why. Yeah, J-Dub is an all-star and all of that. He's a great player. But it ain't like as if Ant-Man ain't got all-stars over there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rudy Gobert has been an all-star. I think 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Julius Randle has been an all-star. So it's not like as if Ant-Man is just out there on an island. He got Mike Conley. He got all of these other McDaniels. So it's not like as if he's just out there playing with a bunch of nobodies. The fact of the matter is, I think SGA is better than Ant-Man by the eye test, by the stats. It's clear. I wrote something on the channel yesterday, which was, what is clear, SGA is on another level above Anthony Edwards. SGA is scoring against elite defenders. Ant-Man is not. SGA is playing under control at his own speed. Ant-Man looks rushed on everything. SGA is much better. And when you watch these games beyond the stats, which we're going to get into, you can clearly see who has mastered the game to a higher degree. SGA pretty much gets any shot that he wants. The defense is constantly trying to rush him, and it doesn't work. They put bigger guys on him like McDaniels. He can score against him. They put smaller guys but are very, very quick like Anthony Edwards. He's scoring on them. Right? They've showed him a bunch of different coverages, and all he's been able to do in the Western Conference Finals is average 30.8 points per game, 8.3 assists, and 4.8 rebounds. That's what he's doing. On the other hand, Oklahoma City is the best defensive team in the NBA, but Ant-Man is Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is being restricted to 24.3 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and I think the last game, no, it's even lower than that, but I think the last game he played, he had, what was the last game he played? The last game he played, he had 16 points, right? 16 points, and a lot of people were going off on him for some of his commentary at the end of the game. You know, I made the right plays and all of that. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. And one of the reasons why people don't want to hear that is because you don't talk like that. And to me, I'm somebody that's kind of seen through the Ant-Man show. I feel like Ant-Man is more talk than results. He's good, but he ain't better than some of these other dudes. And I think it's absolutely insane to say that Ant-Man is the face of the NBA when he's playing in a series with another young guy, another young star, who is clearly better than him. Clearly better than him. And people are looking for every kind of reason to not give it to SGA. Oh, you know, SGA is older. Oh, SGA plays on a better team. SGA has, I don't know, like braids. Like, yo, anything they can come up with. To me, SGA is the best player. And if there's anybody considering one of these guys for the face of the NBA, it should be SGA. Like, let's not play around. SGA is on his way to the finals, bro. Like, what are we talking about right now? Like, give it to the people that is actually putting forward the results instead of the people you just like. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.